Okay, so let me go back to my home page. So if you carefully observe here, you have found this successfully. Find element by XPath. But where is driver dot? Okay, without driver object, this is nothing, isn't it? So our driver object is defined in our class, which is defined it here, right? So you have to pass this driver to your home page object, and then you need to concatenate here. Okay, this you need to do. So that is a challenging and tricky part in this page object learning. Okay, this is very simple. You just define 2 lines of the code and you can call there. But where is driver? Driver lying is in your own test case. Okay, and that is specific to each and every test case, right? So in this test case, I want to run an emulator. So my driver have the capabilities of that. So how do you pass this driver to the home page is a question, right? It's very simple and I can show you here. For that, first of all, you have to pass that object into here. Okay, so let me go back to basics, and if I create object for that particular class, how to create object for Java class? Home page h equals to new home page. Okay, so this is how you can create an object for a class, and here it is home page. Is a Java class. Okay, so in this way you can create the object, and here the driver whatever you have, let's pass as an argument to this class. Alright, so you know one thing, I hope you guys know that when you create an object for a class, automatically constructor of that class will be called. Constructor of the class will be invoked. This is a oops concept. Don't worry, even if you have not familiar with that, I am going to explain it right away. So constructor of the class will be invoked when you create object for the class. Okay, so as we created object for this home page Java class, constructor of that class should be created. But when we go here, there is no constructor defined for this class. So if there is no constructor, by default constructor will be called. Okay, so this is one of the oops concept. If you have not defined constructor deliberately, by default it calls as a default constructor, which is nothing. So, but if you define a constructor, that class will be, that method, that constructor method will be automatically executed when you write this step. Okay, then let's go back and define constructor. How do you define constructor for a class? Constructor takes the name of the class only. If I want to define the constructor, it's just like a method, but method name should be class name only. How do you define methods in Java? You will simply say public and write a method name, and you do like this, right? This is a method in Java. For a constructor, the method name should be class name only. So that means you can paste home page at this particular point and you can define like this. Alright, so constructor have the capability of accepting the arguments. Okay, so when you create like this, and when you say I am passing the driver as an argument to your home page class, constructor have a capability to listen and catch that argument which being passed in the test case. So here I can simply say Appium driver, right, which we are trying to pass. So let me write that. Okay, so basically it's an Android driver here, but it's up to you. Doesn't matter, even if you use Appium driver or Android driver, it works. Okay, both lies in a similar fashion. Okay, you need not worry about it. Now, so we know that constructor can be defined with an argument. We just learned that. Let me write that point here as well. Constructor can be defined with arguments. So when you pass an argument while creating an object for a class, so constructor with an argument will be invoked. Okay, if you don't pass any object to the class, constructor without any object will be invoked. Okay, so based upon the way you passed, that particular construction will be invoked. So right here I am saying that I will pass an argument called driver. So when you go back to your actual home page class, let's define a constructor with an argument. Okay, because we are expecting that to come here. Okay, so this is how you can define a constructor with an argument. So why I have defined this argument? Because I am throwing here a driver object. Okay, so when I am throwing driver object, so it should be ready to catch that driver object only. So that's why you have to also write something here which we are expecting from our test cases. So we are expecting driver class, so we are defining driver argument. Okay, so when you write this step in your actual test case, and when this step got invoked by Appium, automatically, as I said, constructor of the class will be invoked. This particular block will get executed. Okay, you need not execute it manually or deliberately through automation. So by this step invocation, this step means that control comes here and it automatically executes that. So that's the concept of constructor. If you want, you can just Google that, how that constructor of class will be invoked and all. Okay, if you don't provide any constructor, it just calls a default constructor. Okay, so I am defining an object by passing my own driver object here. So that driver object will come and fall here exactly. Okay, so in this way we can form a connection between our actual test case and our page object file. Okay, so as we are passing the driver comes and fall here. Okay, so cool, we know that driver came here because it is executing automatically with that object. Now our next step is we have to simply concatenate driver dot find element, isn't it? So let me write here two steps. First step is to call the driver object from test case to page object file. We have achieved it successfully with the concept of constructor, and now this driver will catch something whatever you write here. Alright, so let me go back. Now how do you concatenate all your steps which you defined here to your driver? For that we have a method given by page object factory, guys. Concatenate. Okay, so this concept is nothing but page object factory. Okay, so for that we have one concept. Okay, so that line let's write inside the constructor, like page factory dot, you see here, initialize elements. So here I am saying go and initialize elements. Here this is the element, right? Initialize all these elements, which is nothing but this, with driver. Okay, and page is nothing but this own page, so just pass this here. So this keyword refers to, we are referring to your own page. If you are referring to some another page, you have to pass that page class. Like if you want to referring to preferences page, you have to pass preferences. But here we are restricted to this own page, right? So this keyword resembles that you are referring to your own page. Okay, so what happens now? When you give this method saying initialize all the elements, that which is nothing but this, what all you define, all these are elements. We are saying to initialize all these elements with driver. Okay, so automatically once this step executed, it reads all your elements and concatenate with driver dot find element. from where this driver is coming here, from this argument. Okay, this driver is being passed to here, but from where this driver object is coming, this is coming from here. Okay, from where this driver object is coming, this is coming from here. Okay, that means we have successfully concatenated driver object of our actual test case from here to here, from here to here with the help of constructor, and then inside this. In this way, this will get invoked and concatenated with your operation. Okay, so that's the concept of putting a tight integration between your test case and page objects. Alright, so in the next lecture, let's continue and start running this test cases by updating our steps. Okay, thank you.